Okay, so I want you to picture this. The date is February 2025.
We're at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards.
And the red carpet, it's usually just chaos, right? A sea of noise, publicists screaming, cameras going off like machine guns.
Total sensory overload.
But then, for just a split second, it all goes quiet.
Ah,
Like a specific, heavy kind of silence. The kind that only happens when something confusing or, I don't know, maybe disturbing is happening in real time.
like right in the middle of that silence, you have Kanye West and his wife, Bianca Censori.
Exactly. But the visual here is so crucial, yet he's basically a shadow. He's in all black, sunglasses, a full face mask.
Completely obscured, like a
A
void.
void, that's a perfect word.
Yeah.
And in front of him is Bianca, and at first, she's wrapped in this huge, oversized fur coat, like old school Hollywood glam.
For a second, yeah. But it wasn't just a pose.
No. A command is given, she drops the coat.
And the cameras just go ballistic.
Because underneath all that fur, she's wearing a completely transparent, skin-colored mesh mini dress.
With no underwear. I mean, nothing. It's designed to create the illusion of total nudity.
And that contrast,
Yeah.
it's so stark. You have the husband completely covered, armored against the world.
And then the wife, completely exposed, offered up for everyone to see.
The cameras flashed, the crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. Welcome to StarScope Report.
Today, we're not just looking at the photos. We are really digging into the story behind them.
That's right. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jamie. And this is the place where we go into the deep end of celebrity culture. We unpack the drama, the music industry shakeups.
And all the viral scandals that, really define the whole fame game.
And today's headline, Kanye's wife exposed, the untold story. It's about so much more than a naked dress.
Oh, yeah. This story goes into some really dark places. We're talking international criminal history, complex psychological theories.
And the transformation of the next generation of the West Dynasty, which is a whole other story in itself.
You've seen all the headlines about the shock value. But today, we're digging into the why.
We've got lip-read commands, Australian underworld connections no one's talking about.
And even rumors of a divorce that might have been happening long before that mesh dress ever hit the carpet.
So let's go back to that Grammys moment. Because if you really look close at the footage, it stops looking like a fashion choice.
And it starts looking like a directed scene from a movie.
Literally directed. There were reports from places like Just Jared and the NZ Herald.
Oh, the lip readers.
Exactly. Professional lip readers analyzed that exact moment right before the coat dropped.
And you'd expect him to say something like, ready, or you look great.
Nope. That is not what he said. He reportedly said, make a scene.
Make a scene. Wow.
That just hits different, doesn't it?
It totally does. It implies intent. It means she's the instrument for the spectacle, not the person who came up with it.
And it wasn't spontaneous. If you know the context, this was a direct recreation of the cover art for his album Vultures 1.
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen that album art, can you just describe it? Because the comparison is, it's a little disturbing.
It is. The cover has Ye in all black, facing away from the camera, and Bianca is standing with her back to the camera, completely exposed.
And it's a really stark, almost dehumanizing image.
And by recreating it on the red carpet, he's basically turning the album art into a live performance.
So in that moment, she's not just his wife.
She's a living marketing asset.
That's the puppeteer narrative that completely took over the media. You have a husband treating his life and his wife as some kind of performance art.
But here's the thing. The audience wasn't really applauding. If you look at social media from that night, the main feeling wasn't, wow, look at her. It was,
is she okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole blink if you need help thing was trending everywhere on X and TikTok. And I mean, you look at the pictures and you get it.
It wasn't just trolls. Body language experts weighed in, and they said her expression wasn't empowered.
No. They used words like startled, uncertain, and even fear.
Which is such a direct contrast to Ye's posture. He's all domination. He's the director. She's the prop.
And that dynamic apparently sent shockwaves all the way to Calabasas.
We are, of course, talking about Kim Kardashian.
Right. Sources said Kim was disgusted and alarmed by the whole stunt. But what surprised me was it wasn't about jealousy.
No, the reports said it was pity.
Which, when you think about it, makes sense. Sources say she genuinely pities Bianca because she knows the playbook. She lived it.
We all remember that episode of the show where he famously cleaned out her entire closet.
Oh my God, yes. He threw away all her clothes and replaced them with his vision for her.
And at the time, it was kind of framed as this grand romantic gesture, a makeover.
So looking back, it was the beginning of total control.
Exactly. So Kim knows how that dynamic works. But now her concern isn't just about fashion or Bianca's choice. It's about the kids.
Yeah, the example being set for Satan North, seeing their stepmom paraded around like, oh well, like one commenter put it, chattel.
It just raises so many questions about where the line is between art and, public humiliation.
But here's the thing. You might think the wildest part of this story is the dress or the controlling husband.
Oh, not even close.
Just wait until we tell you about the family Bianca left behind in Australia.
Because it turns out dealing with dangerous, dominant men, well, that might be something she was born into.
We are definitely going to get to that dark history in a minute, and believe me, it involves actual mob connections.
But first, we have to talk about how this whole performance art lifestyle is trickling down to the next generation.
Because Kim's worry for her kids, it kind of looks like it was well-founded.
Yeah, this is where it gets really complicated. Let's talk about what's being called the Boxing Day artifact.
Okay, walk me through this. This was late December 2025.
Yep, Boxing Day. A screenshot gets posted online. It's a FaceTime call with Northwest, who's only 12, Bianca, and the singer Baby Sosa.
I remember seeing this pop up. And my first reaction, honestly, was just confusion.
Because you couldn't tell who was who.
Exactly. Fans were saying they couldn't tell Bianca apart from Kim. The dark bangs, that kissy pout face. It was this really weird, uncanny valley thing where the stepmom is starting to look just like the mom.
It's bizarre, but then you look at North in that picture. She just launched her own Instagram, and suddenly she's debuting this super specific, very dark aesthetic.
And this isn't like a kid playing dress-up. This is an evolution into a gothic and paranoid style that is a mirror image of her dad.
We're not talking about black nail polish. We're talking shark grills, where teeth are made to look like sharp points.
A bridge piercing on her nose.
Ah.
And the jewelry. She posted a picture of a diamond skull necklace.
And it wasn't just any necklace. It was a 106-carat diamond skull with blue eyes. It's like hyper luxury meets this super morbid, dark vibe.
I gotta say, seeing a 12-year-old with what look like shark teeth, it's jarring. I don't care who your parents are, that's a lot for a kid.
And of course, there was a huge controversy online. People were talking about a loss of innocence.
But North, she didn't back down. She didn't apologize.
No, she went on TikTok to clap back. She lip-synced audio asking critics, "Why are you crying? How old are you?"
Which is just so ironic, right? He famously went to war with Kim over North being on TikTok.
And now she's using the very platform he hated to curate the family image he created.
She's part of the spectacle now. Learning that attention is currency and controversy is how you get it.
If you're fascinated by how deep these celebrity rabbit holes go, make sure you're subscribed. We're tracking the stories that don't just make headlines, they make history.
Okay, so let's pivot back to Bianca. Because the common narrative is that she's this innocent victim, right? This naive architect from Australia who got swept up by a superstar.
But when you actually look at her origins, that story starts to fall apart. Completely.
So we have to go to Melbourne, Australia. Because people probably assume she came from some quiet suburban life. But who was Bianca Censori before she was Mrs. West?
Well, she's the daughter of a man named Leo Censori.
And Leo is not just your average suburban dad.
Not at all. Back in the 1980s, he was convicted for possession of a loaded pistol and heroin. He served 5 years.
Whoa. Okay. Heroin and a loaded pistol? That is not white-collar crime. That is heavy.
And it goes deeper. Reports say he was a major player in the underworld. At one point, he needed police protection because a rival gang was planning to assassinate him over gambling machine profits.
My God. So this is like serious organized crime.
Can you just imagine growing up in that house where your dad is worried about assassination plots from rival gangs?
It's unbelievable. And it's not just the father.
No. Her uncle, Censori, was nicknamed the Al Capone of Melbourne.
You're kidding.
He was sentenced to death for murder. It was later commuted to life. Another uncle, Edmundo, has convictions for assaulting police and theft.
Bianca grew up in a family defined by these dominant, dangerous men who lived completely outside the law.
This changes the whole innocent victim narrative for me.
Well, yeah. There's this psychological idea. Some call it constraint theory or even just attachment theory. And you have to ask, is her marriage to Yi a departure from her past?
Or is it a continuation of it?
Can you explain that a little more?
Well, Humans are pattern-seeking. If you grow up surrounded by chaos, high stakes, and these really dominant male figures, a safe or normal partner might feel foreign.
So Yi's paranoia, his whole me against the world thing, his need for control,
To Bianca, that might not look like a red flag. It might look like home.
that is a chilling thought.
Yeah.
It's like she just traded one high-risk environment for another.
And that might explain the silence from her mother, Alexandra. She's flown to the U.S. a bunch of times, reportedly to save her daughter.
But when the media gets near her, she just shuts down. I have nothing to say about Bianca.
It's the kind of silence you see in a family that knows the cost of speaking out. You handle things internally.
So with the controlling marriage, this insane family history, you'd think there has to be a breaking point somewhere.
And that's what we'll get into next. We're going to look at the reports that a divorce was already happening. And the very strange way the couple tried to prove everyone wrong.
Because that united front we saw at the Grammys,
Mm-hmm.
the rumors from late 2024 and early 2025 tell a completely different story.
Yeah, the word was they had hit a rough patch.
And rough patch is putting it mildly. He was reportedly telling people he planned to move to Tokyo and divorce Bianca.
And she retreated. She actually went back to Australia for a while.
Why? What was the trigger?
Sources said it was his disturbing online rants, the anti-Semitic and homophobic stuff. She was apparently horrified and traumatized.
So wait, does that mean the constraint theory has a limit? She can handle the personal control, but the public hate speech was a line she wouldn't cross.
It seems that way. So you have a split, they're on different continents, but then suddenly they're back together.
And they don't just get back together. They stage these very specific public outings. This is what I'm calling the Nutcracker paradox.
Okay, I love that name. Unpack it for me.
Christmas Eve, Los Angeles. They go to see the Nutcracker Ballet, a classic, wholesome family activity, right?
Right. But it's all about how they did it. At the Grammys, the goal was maximum exposure.
And at the ballet, the goal was total concealment. Yi was in a full incognito mask, Bianca was in fur, and she kept the coat on the whole time.
They were in stealth mode. People there said they snuck in after the lights went down.
And then, right before the final bows, they snuck out a back exit.
It's a choreography of concealment. They're trying to act like a normal couple on a date night, but they're literally barricading themselves from the world.
It's so paranoid. It's like, are they back together? Or are they just performing family to shut down the divorce rumors?
And right in the middle of all that confusion, Yi goes on social media and posts one single word that basically sums it all up.
Dominion.
Dominion, not partnership, not love, dominion.
That's such a heavy, biblical controlling word.
It just reinforces everything the public already fears about the relationship. It's not a partnership. It's a power dynamic where he owns the territory.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next in the world of pop culture.
Because when you step back and you look at this entire picture, it's overwhelming.
It really is. It's not about a naked dress at an award show. That's just the clickbait.
Underneath all that, you have this crazy collision of criminal family history, a husband acting like a puppeteer.
And a child, North, who is starting to mirror the chaos she's growing up in.
And then there's us, the audience. We are part of this too. We consume it. We look at the sad artifact, that FaceTime picture, the blank stare on the red carpet.
And we project our own narratives onto her. Is she trapped? Does she need help? But we keep clicking.
We just keep consuming her mute spectacle of flesh.
It's the ultimate reality show. But the stakes feel so incredibly high. These are real people with real breaking points.
Which leaves you with one final provocative thought. If Yi sees his wife as a living piece of art and his whole life as a performance,
what happens when the cameras finally stop flashing?
is there a real person left under all the mesh and all the masks? Or has the performance just completely taken over the reality?
That's the question we might not get an answer to until it's way too late.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.